to tell us no, or where to go, or say we're only dreaming.
Hello everyone, Skippy here, and welcome to One Piece episode 965, directed by Kenichi Takeshita and supervised by Kazuya Hisada. While a good amount of the episode will no doubt be focusing largely on the section of the plot most centered around Orochi, which will definitely be great in its own right, this one right here is surely no joke, as it's the episode that will really thrust the legendary Pirate King Goldie Roger into the flashback, along with including his clash with Whitebeard. And from what little we've been teased with in the preview, it seems like director Kenichi Takeshita will really be pulling out all the stops to make it possible, with his atmospheric direction and well-composed action storyboard that makes great use of the fighting area. With small spades of series regulars like Hatsumi Ishizuka and Tetsuro Nireki being visible already, as well as some of Kazuya Hisada's most polished corrections to date, this should be one hell of an episode with an explosive finale that will lead in very well to whatever goodies they have planned for the rest of it. So will episode 965 be as powerful as the clash between these two friendly rivals? Let's draw our swords and find out. This episode covers pages 5 through 16 of chapter 965 and the first 4 pages of chapter 966. And surprisingly enough, this episode manages to hold its own pacing-wise with very little in the way of filler, with most of the manga content moving along at a slick pace with only the consecutive calls from Sukiyaki ever coming off as annoying, and with what little filler is there only helping it move along better, such as actually seeing Orochi being chased by his pursuers during the flashback with the old lady, as well as actually seeing him eat his devil fruit that he's given, which triggers his initial transformation. Couple that with Takeshita's very solid music choices and proper setting of atmosphere or sound effects that really chew up the scenery directorially, that helps every scene land as it should with the proper gravitas and power, this episode serves to be in tip-top shape adaptation-wise all around every bit of it. At a base level, it was already moving along pretty well, but what little added content that was there really helped things settle in quite nicely to make it all fit like a glove and be properly enjoyable and exciting. It doesn't drag majorly, it doesn't feel like you're wasting any time, it doesn't feel bland, and it's all around just another completely rock solid effort on the adaptation end. While you can tell that Nagamine once again had a bit of a hand in Takeshita's board like he did last time with the several different Umakoshi eyes in the first half making it quite obvious, but yet Takeshita's board still feels properly put together on its own merits and never feels like it loses that sense of scale and dynamism needed for the many different areas and situations, which always helps the episode feel grand and with the visuals that it properly deserves, which is only made even better by the massive bouts of surprising character movement that help lay on an extra layer of life to it. And when there's really nice compositing all around, but mostly in the scene with Orochi in the forest and with the old lady inside, that help immerse you into the atmospheric section that Takeshita already set up, it leaves me with a board that is sturdy and well made as all hell, and also one that doesn't feel like it's disappointing for what the content really is. While Kazuya Hisada's massively angular and line work heavy corrections serve to steal the show more often than not, it's really the small bits of animation within the last few moments of the episode that help it pack the punch that it does. As Tetsuro Nireki really helps bring Roger's initial attack to Oden to life with such finesse and smooth movement that not only peppers Roger's movements, but also Oden getting continuously knocked back into the bowels of the island with bouncy timing as the trees break up into lovely effects work. And who better to follow that up than One Piece's own personal Utapon Katsumi Ishizuka, who animates Roger and Whitebeard's clash with the same insane and visceral power that we've all come to love from him, with incredibly detailed yet still loose art and effects work that depicts the two's powers in such godly ways. All the while, a surprising amount of background animation really helps sell the impact that it has on the surrounding areas, capping off 965 with just the type of powerful scene that it needed to really hit home. This episode brought damn near everything that I wanted it to bring with it, and brought me an episode that pretty much met my expectations head on, and left me only wanting more by the time it ended, as some of its best moments are simply at the very end. And while we may be waiting 2 weeks this time instead of 1 for episode 966, I cannot fucking contain my excitement over how good it looks. The direction and setting of atmosphere is one thing, but with loads and loads of animation that familiarizes the fight between the crews, from what looks like not only Chu Young-seo, but also the absolute Big News Morgan's powerhouse Masami Mori that looks absolutely unreal, this episode seriously looks like an absolute dream come true. It should end up being one crazy good episode just because of Shimaya, Ito, and Inoue being the primary staff for it. But I'm already anxiously awaiting on the very edge of my seat for these next 2 weeks, because it looks like yet another episode that will fit the bill of being legendary. Anyways guys, that's it for now. I'm Skippy, and you've gotta love Odin's little dumb faces.